evening, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop. Guys, I apologize for the lateness. I have had a bit of a crazy week, per se. A bit of a crazy week, and you know what? Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles and all things Nick Weiser land. And it's been a week. So we'll go over a little bit of that, and then as always, we move forward because dwelling is not a thing we do too much of. There's moderation, time and place for things, as I say a lot, repetitively. Sure, great, awesome, but it's move forward time. It's very big move forward time. So let's get into the thick of things, okay? So let me turn this overlay off. And guys, how you doing? Not a lot of you here, but that's fine. We were late, so that's on me, but a lot of you will pop in, so it works out. Well, what's up, Steve Mitchum, Jonathan Conroy? How you guys doing? So, hey, Tim Mays, I'm okay. Are you okay? I am okay, yes. Bear with me here. So, obviously, a lot of us know what happened earlier with Toxic Tuesday earlier this week, and such is the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. There's going to be times where things go just horrifically wrong, and you got to adjust accordingly. And yes, it was the anniversary of Clobbering Times, RIP, 1 year later. Great show from Mark D with a C. Shout out to Mark D with a C. So thankful for that dude, by the way. So yeah, obviously for the last few weeks, and you can ask Mark D with the C this, I've been dealing with a problem on YouTube per se. And maybe if you know, a lot of you watch Toxic Tuesday, you caught some comments I've said in passing. I always try to be that guy that doesn't try to bring that stuff always to the forefront. I used to be really bad about it, and I got a lot better about it. I really got good about just keeping my personal life and my business life separate. Every now and then, you call maybe a loose comment or two about me mentioning something and passing on stream. But Toxic Tuesday has had issues for a few months now. I have had, it's one thing we get copyright claims, like, okay, whatever, sucks, but you'll get by. But what gets even crazier is when they start to, it became copyright claim, and then became copyright claiming blocked in some countries. Then became completely blocked on YouTube. Even then when I would trim it down and edit, blocking again. And now we're at the point where it removes the stream to the point where I can't even view it on YouTube Studio. If you're someone in the chat who's listening, I'm like my buddy Grandcast, what's up, dude? You would know, like, even when something gets considered blocked, and it doesn't show on like a viewer's window, but it shows you as a YouTuber, hey, your stream is blocked. It got completely removed, false flagged, and obviously the false flagging happened. And no matter how much I could prove there was absolute false flagging, the jury was the jury. The appeal was more than enough for them, even though it was objectively wrong. And I have tried to hold off on doing a Rumble exclusive show on Toxic Tuesday because I have a lot of people who still prefer YouTube as their place. That's their go-to, and I get it. It's considered the platform for it. But, you know, once you get this compromised, you have to make choices. And when you make choices, you got to make tough calls. And sometimes when you make tough calls, you ain't going to please everybody. And that's unfortunate, but, you know, what's the next step? I start getting strikes, and then what happens at the strikes? The removal of the channel. I don't know if this is targeted. I'm not going to say my channel's under attack. It might be. It might be. I don't know. That's somebody say that's what's going to be happening. I don't know. I can't prove it. I have nothing to verify that off of. You ever think about streaming Onyx? Yeah, I've considered that. Probably starting next Tuesday, Grandcast, that'll be something I'll start doing the dual streaming. I'll move the dual from Rumble and do Rumble next instead of Rumble and YouTube. That's probably a good way to go. So it's very important to me that I was like, okay, you know what? This is going to be a Rumble-only show. But there's a lot of good to that because with a Rumble-only show, no kid gloves. We can go all in, balls to the wall, madness from beginning to end. And I know there's been people who have been, resistant on Rumble, and there's a lot of valid reasons for it. I'll be the first to say it. However, hopefully this will give some of you out there to want to take that first step to, you know what? I'm going to give Rumble a shot so I can at least watch this show. And if it ends up not being my show, but it gets you onto something else, that's fine, because at least you're trying something different. I'd rather have us try something different than do nothing. But with this show being Toxic Tuesday being so much more bolder, we can be absolutely nuts from beginning to end, rather than have the hour and a half where we kind of toe the line a little bit on YouTube. Rumble, we just get to go all in from beginning to end. So there's going to be a lot of blessings in disguise from this one in retrospect. For those who take that leap with us, you're going to be the ones that benefit from this. We'll benefit because we're doing the show, of course. But you're going to benefit as a viewer because you get to see all the crazy machismo and the crazy homoeroticism. It's just going to be awesome. Just absolute greatness all around. I'm going to bring on our dudes here. So, hi, Pablo. Hi, Commenter. Hi, Crom. How you guys?
Howdy ho! Hey, what's up? Come on. You are muted.
Common, you're muted.
I am sorry. I was muted on my panel, but no, I can't see you guys. Like my display in the back is not working at all.
Oh, refresh.
All I see is I already refreshed earlier. All I see is the little Clobby square up in the corner, and that is it.
Oh shit.
I don't know what's going on. I'll refresh again, but yeah, I don't see you guys. I haven't seen Nick since the stream started.
It's a drugs, man. It's a drugs.
Dude.
It's always
I
drugs.
wish it was the drug. If I wish I was on drugs enough that would make it to where I can't see you guys. Because I can see you fine on the stream. Looks just fine on the stream. I can't see you in the back end of this. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It's Friday the 13th, boys and girls. What else would you expect?
Hell yeah.
True. That is
all right, I'm gonna
true.
refresh again.
Friday
I'll see you guys in a
13th.
second.
Dude, with technology, and I'm a developer. I'm the kind of guy that actually works with this kind of shit, that enjoys this kind of shit. I'm starting to get really cranky about some technology issues. For example,
Do share.
I have my surgery son, so I decided that maybe it's best to play on the TV, but I have not much to play. I need to fix my PS4 and everything for that. So maybe I just get a long ass cable, an HDMI cable to connect to my TV, and I can play from my PC on my TV. That sounds great, right? So I get this cable, 7.5 meters. The plug, the plastic on the plug, too fat to connect to the PC, so I have to trim it, right? That means I cannot change the cable anymore. Warranty over. But I take that. I connect everything. I set up the best I can. The PC doesn't detect when the TV is off. The cable only can run 2K on HDR, or it will start crashing, and you can feel the cable is actually hot as fuck. There's a lot of random issues, a lot of random glitches. Dude, Windows has had the ability to use multiple monitors for 30 years. They are still figuring out. God damn it, man. God damn it. But I can play on my TV. Probably. Yeah, actually, I was playing Nier Automata and the demo for Stellar Blade. Big asses on that TV looks gorgeous. I will just say that. And if you have played both of those games, you know there's a lot of ass. Those games are great for that. Oh, I will send you a link to the Stellar Blade character.
I know about the character. I know of the character. I've not played the games, but I'm definitely well aware of the situation. Go on, man. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, she's gorgeous, man. And that's maybe the part that makes me almost giggle.
Pablo.
Dude, you can see this gorgeous woman, absolutely gorgeous. And the internet goes to hell to fight against this big, round, perfect ass. And then the actress come out and is like, that one's real, right? Yes, that one is 100% real. It's Korean women, man. You're still muted, Jesse.
He's still muted. We see him. but yeah, he's not doing this thing. No, he's definitely
There we
not.
And
Oh.
Brand
Um,
there's an issue. I got the 20-foot cable, the 7.5 meters. I need a 10-meter cable to make it work perfectly because it looks ugly as hell because it's going through the wall instead of going around the door and everything, looking like it's flush, nicely done and everything. No, it just goes straight through the wall. You can see it across the wall, a dark line that goes ugly as fuck. And you know what? At this point, hell, why not? It's just to get something to do through 2 weeks that I will have basically nothing to do because I cannot work because sitting on my PC is hell because my back. But
Mhm.
I went to the neurosurgeon. Part of the whole process is getting ready because I have something on my head that I thought it was going to kill me. The
Mhm.
neurosurgeon is like, you know what? It's not what they tell you that is. Yes, you were dying, but
Mhm.
know that you are out of that. You won't die because of this. So it's like,
Mhm.
I thought, I really thought, if one day I don't wake up, it's because of that. Because I thought I had
Mhm.
a cyst on my brain that at any point could just
Ooh,
kill me.
dude. Ooh,
It's not that.
dude.
So that means that I can live and I actually can ride a bike. I didn't get a
Mhm.
bike because I thought I was going to die if I fell. Now
Mhm.
that I know that that's not the case, I will break every bone on my goddamn body riding a bike, but I won't die from head trauma that easily.
Mhm.
Asterix,
Mhm.
that easily. Yeah, I will buy a bike. After that, I was like, God damn it, I had the chance to buy a nice goddamn bike for $1,000, and I didn't because I
Mhm.
thought I was going to die.
Mhm.
Well, I have the hair, I have the leather jacket. I'm just missing the bike. So I get on that.
Oh, I love it, Bob. Dude.
What can I? You think you are going to die from a thing in your head that is a ticking time
Mhm.
bomb, and the doctor
Mhm.
says, you know what? It's not a ticking time bomb. You can outlive this shit. Okay, then I will do the best to outlive it shortly, but fun enough. And god damn it, I will make it spectacular.
Yeah. Good. As it should be.
Dude, if you can jump across a canyon in a bike, why not? I mean it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Well, that can happen when you go to take a shit. So I know you know why I
Oh,
have so many
Pablo.
medical issues through trauma. Because, yes, when
Mhm.
I was a kid, I was the guy that was jumping from one rooftop to the other. Sometimes I
Mhm.
didn't make it.
Mhm.
And dude, I have fell from the second floor of a building because I was jumping to the other building. And I went face first against the wall. It was great. No, it wasn't. I actually have
Pablo.
stitches.
Holy shit, dude. I just I I, I I don't have the words, Pablo. I don't have the words for this
There was a
situation, man.
lot
This is
of
just
alcohol, man.
crazy. Yeah, clearly you have to be with everything that you're feeling on that, dude. That's just outrageous, man. Seriously, outrageous.
Near
It's amazing what the body can put up with, tolerate,
absolutely.
survive when the alcohol is there. But holy macaroni, dude, insane.
Really, like a kilometer or something like that from the high school that I was. There
Mm-hmm.
was this. the migrants from the first wave of migration to the US and to Europe started a
Mhm.
town that they never finished. So it was a lot of empty houses that were barely built.
Mhm.
It was paradise. You will go hunting animals, so you will get lizards, you will get frogs, you will get a lot of crazy insects, including scorpions. Scorpions as pets are great. Trust me. You don't want to pet them, but looking them kill something, great. And there was absolutely no way, no law enforcement could go there because it was just a random bunch of buildings in the middle of nowhere. Great to go skateboarding, great to go trying parkour, great to go trying to do stupid things with ropes. It was heaven. No, I think it's actually developed, so the magic is lost.
Pablo, everything about this is, oh crud, I'm on the wrong mic. I'm sorry. Won't call me out.
You just got real.
No.
I think it just happened. This damn thing likes to switch stuff randomly sometimes.
Been really bad with the switching lately. It's like abhorrently bad. I don't know what's
I
happening.
had to switch to Google Chrome to get the damn thing to work.
Yeah, that works. The issue when you want to share something, you will have to share it on actually using Chrome, because if you do it on Firefox,
yeah, you can't do it from
yep.
Brave. Yeah, because that's what I always use is Brave. That was probably because I heard there was some update on Google Chrome yesterday because a bunch of stuff wasn't working, like websites and stuff weren't working the other day. So I probably just have to restart my Brave browser and let the new update come in. So.
All right. By the way, what's up, Brad Young, D-Bud, Lombardi, King Conan? Great to see all you fine gentlemen here. D-Bud says, huge. Sorry, I'm late. D-Bud, did you get my DM on Twitter X? I just want to know that you got it. I don't care if you responded. I just want to know that you got it. As long as I know you got it, we are good, dude. That's all that matters to me. Because, and also, by the way, Madhouse Retro is hanging out on the Rumble side. So thank you, Madhouse. Thank you, sir, for hanging out. And we're gonna get you on here. DM me, and we'll talk over the weekend. We'll get you on here. We'll get you on here soon, like this month soon. Okay, I would love to have you back on. So that's just not me, blowing smoke and all that jazz. I mean, let's get you back on. And Brad Young coming in hot. And let's see what the man says. Let's see. But before we do, I mean, we have a few things to unlock first. I mean,
it's like winning. I don't know, man. I was bad. It's like winning. I don't know, man. I was bad.
My thing's being bipolar.
It's like winning.
There you go. Wow. Dude, what the? You get your balls to the wall. Hey.
Not wanting to work right at all.
Brad Young for a $5 direct donations. It had a bad few weeks. Thanks for taking my mind off things. Oh, dude, it's the least we could do, man. You could have just told me that for free, and I would have been cool with that. Thank you. You did not have to give me $5. I'm just being a homie. And remember, I said to you last week, like, if you got to reach out, dude, send me an email, even if it's just to, like, vent it out. I probably don't have much I can contribute in terms of life experience or whatever it is you're going through, but just a man who can, so you can vent it out to. Just let me know, dude. Just if you unlock my email on the YouTube, one of the tabs, where you go to reach out to someone, I would be happy to receive that email. So, anyways, yeah, thank you, Brad, for the $5, sir. You are awesome. Thank you.
Let me ask you something.
Talk to me.
Have you ever been in one of those old ass towns where everybody is old as fuck? You go and you feel the town is old. The people there are just old people. And you go there and you are walking randomly or going to a store or something, and an old guy just starts complaining about life. He just lets you have it about everything on life. Dude, no, I understand them. Before there was all this shit about going to a psychologist or talking to an artificial intelligence to feel better or any of that. You will open a business and complain to people. That was therapy. That's how it works. And it has been working for 2000 years. Why to stop? Just complain. It works.
It does work. Sometimes, you don't always have to be the someone who has the wise response of wisdom. You just gotta be the guy who said, you know what? Just go all in, man. Go all in, vent it out. All right. It's good to just have that outlet. It's good to have that outlet. If I just by chance have that extra sage of wisdom, well then, dude, it is on like Donkey and Diddy Kong. It's on like Donkey and Diddy Kong.
It's like winning. I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear.
Go. Dude. Party like Charlie Sheen. Tiger Blood. Yeah. Dude. No BS. Back in the day when that was new and everyone was like, oh, he's so crazy. It's scary. I'm like, man, I want to party with that guy. This is like a fun time. I remember I can't remember if I made or if I just partook. Probably partook. There was a Facebook group at the time called Partying Like Charlie Sheen. I'm like, this is amazing. There's a Facebook group about it. And then 7-Eleven had a Tiger Blood Slurpee. What a time. What a time having that Tiger Blood Slurpee. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So yeah, Tiger Blood was running rampant in the world. Yeah, there you go. That's the spirit, my guy. That's the spirit. So I like to hear. Ooh, Madhouse coming in with those avatars and icons on the Rumble side. I love to see that. So we're gonna get into the thick of things. Okay. Did you guys read Action Comics #1 at all?
I touch upon it. I need to finish it. I was hoping to finish it while we were talking, but no, I'm on the spot. Great. Oh, dude, Action Comics #1 is maybe one of the few comics that I can tell you there's so many stories, so many crazy stories, and I have no fucking idea if any of them are true. I will say Clobby was the only person that will actually guide me on that because there's a lot of rumors about how Superman was going to be. He was going to be a bad guy. There's the rumors on how the trousers were added because they were just ready to send for printing. And somebody says, maybe we should have some contrast, something that cuts the color in the wrist or in the waist or something, and he's like, how about trousers, right? And all those small details that you hear throughout the years on the negotiation and how much they were paid, if the rights were theirs to begin with, because on that era the copyrights for a character were kind of weird. This we are talking about the theory, so most newspapers and publishers kept everything. It was not you didn't have a way to negotiate that. You had to give them the rights to everything, and that didn't change up to when Stan Lee and Jack Kirby had a fight and Jack Kirby left Marvel. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that is around Action Comics. Now, if you excuse me, while the common nerd talks about it, I will finish reading.
No, yes, I did not get a chance to read Action Comics today. My $5 Friday show went until 7 p.m. tonight, this evening. So I didn't get to read it, but I have read it before because I actually have the omnibus for the golden age of Superman. So I can't remember how many issues are in this whole thing, but I have definitely read the first few ones. But yeah, so I did read it. So if we want to go through that one first, we can, or we can go through Fantastic Four first. I'm good.
Oh, Fantastic Four, I obviously finished for the end time. Action Comics, I have read 4 times in my life. It's not one that I have gone back a lot. Fantastic Four number 51. Obviously, I have read it 3 times in a year, and before that, a couple of times here and there. So I'm I'm more fresh on that one. Action Comics. Okay, I will ask. Did you guys go to the original print or the remasterization?
Well, all I've got's the omnibus
Oh, it's the
of the original
remasterization.
ones. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
even
yeah.
I think if you look some places online, I think they've got the classic scans from some of the originals because they look like the originals because they're all wrinkly and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's
So
pages
yeah,
broken and everything. It is wonderful. Yeah, it's the original.
yeah,
If you went to the usual place, yeah, they
Mhm.
have the
right,
original one. It's
yeah,
scans
yeah.
from the first print. Yep.
Or it's all beat up and super groggy. Yeah, it's only like it's a very short story because it's like 13 pages long of story. Then the rest are side stories, which I didn't really read at all because to me those weren't
Right.
relevant. I mean, I guess they're relevant in what the issue brought into the cultural zeitgeist. But for me, it was about the Superman story. Yes, the original Action Comics. And welcome, Tara in the Black. How you doing, sir? Thanks for dropping in on this show. The Superman I have is some early Silver Age comics. Yes. And our man Mohammed said, I'm looking for through my guess he's saying, I have been looking thoroughly through Mighty Thor, Walter Simonson, Omnibus, Hardcover, Brave, Balder. Nice. And it is awesome. Marvel Masterwork Restoration work. Ooh, I actually got all that right. Woo. Love that, dude. I love seeing these updates, and it is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome that you are so dedicated to getting through those stories. And yeah, we're gonna make sure 2025 is the year that Thor gets read, Thor gets acknowledged, and that Walt Simonson era, which, as I've said before, I've never read. I've always admitted that. I thought I maybe had read a few issues, but then I actually dug into an issue. I'm like, no, I was wrong. I'm dead wrong. I've not read this because I thought, no, maybe I read a few. No. Nick is wrong, and sometimes Nick has to correct himself when he's wrong, and you're singing live in real time. But yes, that needs to be a thing.
I
Okay,
just
so
noticed something. We
talk to
haven't,
me.
other than Infinity Gauntlet, we
Mhm.
haven't actually read a story where Thor is prominent or Thor is an actual participant of the story. We should correct that because there's a couple of really good Thor and Thor crossovers that we should try. We did Nova. We haven't done Thor.
No, we have not.
Well, that's what he was just talking about. We were wanting to do a run of Thor because that would be really awesome. Do like a
Yeah.
proper one. Yeah.
The thing is, with Nova, there's a couple of good issues with Thor. I will just leave that there. Let's see if we can get some of that really cool stuff in the future.
Let's do Thor. Let's
Yep.
freaking do some Thor this year.
Original, original or the Thor is Thor version?
Whatever's in Walter Simonson. But if we gotta
Yeah.
go to
Oh, okay.
OG Stan and Jack to get some of that Thor, then maybe we gotta do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Just as a reminder, there used to be a time where Thor will transform just hitting the ground with his stick. That's something that
That would be
yeah,
God, what's that guy's name? Eric. No, that's not Eric Masterson. Donald Blake.
Donald
Donald
Blake.
Blake.
Yep. That they use that name for the tag that Thor has on one of the shirts that Natalie Portman gives him during the first movie, and it
Yeah, they
really sells it.
acknowledged that. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
cool. Actually remember that. I was the only one in the theater who was like, "Yeah!" People were like, "Who's this psycho? Why is he excited about this? What is wrong with
Because
him?"
that's Thor.
Yeah, I got it, but I was the only one. one, man.
Shit.
I was the only one, and I thought that was hilarious. Oh,
That's the thing. Not many people actually have read Thor. There's fans really into Thor, and there's people that have known Thor through the Avengers, through basically whatever property of Marvel, but they are not following Thor. They don't care about Thor, and that should change. I will say Thor depends on the era. There was a time where Thor was actually really boring, and I'm really glad that they started with Beta Ray Bill as a kind of replacement. They fix a lot of issues later, but original Thor is actually really good. We should.
and see, I've read some of the original OG Mighty Thor Stan Jack. Oh, what's up, Toback on Rumble? Hey, young boys.
Go back.
Yeah, I've definitely read some of that, and I really like what I've read. Never completed, finished it, but I have definitely have done the deed with that one. That's one I most definitely have done some deeds with, should I say, some deeds with. So it has definitely happened. Most definitely
dirty
happened.
deeds done dirt cheap.
Yeah, dirt deeds done dirt too. Yeah, right. Oh man, no. Thor will maybe I'd say maybe around November we can definitely make a Thor thing happen. Right after we could do a Thor month. How about that? Let's just make it a Thor.
I'm down.
Make it a Thor month. That sounds like something Mike Tyson would say. Make it a Thor month.
Thor month.
Thor
Make it
month.
Thor month. You need to. Need to make it a Thor month. You need to work out really hard every day. I want you to do it twice a day. I want you to be a Thor as you possibly can. I want you to go out there and I want you to feel like the mighty Thor because you're gonna be Thor when you're done with this. But you got to hit the gym at least twice a day. Eat all your fruits and vegetables. Make sure you got plenty of protein. And I promise you, you're gonna be Thor and Jack just like Mike Tyson.
The worst part is, yeah, you sounded kind of like Mike Tyson a lot.
Louis, I'm coming for you. Louis. You know, I'm gonna vote for Trump because he's a really nice guy, and we go way back to the '90s when I was down and out, he was there for me, and I'm gonna be there for him because that's what friends do.
Oh, I have an idea. Now that you said Mighty Thor,
Yeah.
there's a room from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't know if this is the best idea, but I will throw it. It was Stan and Kirby Mighty Thor.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, 83 or 84.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's short. Is like 20 something issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that long, but we can do the first four
Oh, easy.
easily.
Yeah. No, dude, without question. You kidding me? Let's freaking go, dude. Let's freaking go. All right, let's take. So, yes, obviously, this version has a very beat up copy. Love the advertisement, by the way.
That's
Absolutely
the issue
love
that I'm
it.
reading. Yes,
I
page.
stopped to read that. I loved it. Like 25 contestants at $1 a piece.
Oh,
Like,
man.
big money to kids back then. Big money
Oh,
to kids
oh.
back then.
And okay, this is part.
I
in
love
the
Ghost
first,
Rider, Taryn.
yeah, in the first pages, you get Superman breaking and entering and everything. And I, as I recall, I don't know. Maybe Debot has more information on this because I'm just passing a story that I have heard that maybe is absolutely destroyed. But the first pages where Superman is breaking and entering, and the cover where he is smashing the car is the only part that remains from when Superman was the evil guy on the comic.
Oh,
Yeah, he was an evil alien. As far as I know, as far as I have heard, he was an evil alien.
My
What I-
understanding was I thought he was just a bit more of a jerk. I thought he was just a bit more of a jerk.
Oh,
was my
Superman is
understanding.
always a jerk, man. There was
See,
a page dedicated to following how much a jerk Superman was.
I feel like in some pages he was a jerk, but I also feel like this is a very different time. I don't think it was really intentional.
Right.
There's a lot more things were a lot more loose back then. And
Well, and you get, yeah, I mean, you're talking like this is the era of like the 20s and 30s where the way people talk to each other was a lot more direct. Like there wasn't so much beating around the bushes like there is nowadays. Like this whole scene with like him walking in there and just like kicking through the governor's door and stuff like that. He's like, look, I'm here. We got something to do. Y'all are getting in my way. I'm on a time frame here. I ain't got time for you. So I'm just going to smash my way through. I'm not going to try to talk to you. We're just going to smash our way through doors and we're going to take care of business. You know, so versus, you know, where a little bit more of, well, and also you got to think about it nowadays, Superman's much more well known too, right? So now he can just walk up to the governor's mansion, doesn't matter what time of day or night it is, and they're going to let him right through the front door. Whereas this is where he's still brand new, he's still unknown. One of the other things that everybody needs to remember too is this is back before the Power of Flight. This is back before it was even the Daily Bugle, or the Daily Planet. This is back even before it was the Daily Planet. You know what I mean? So this is early OG Superman days.
And
Like
he's
there's even a
straight-
comment at the beginning of this that talks about the fact that our certain explosive rounds could actually penetrate his skin. So
Also, the strength and everything is way different. Now, basically, Superman has to help to not kill somebody from a punch. If you see, he's throwing people against the walls and they are going through the wall. He doesn't give a shit. But that means that he's not as strong as he will be on, let's say, the 60s or the 70s, where he will kill somebody from that kind of punch. Here, no, he's just tossing people around. I love that. Dude, no,
yeah,
seriously.
when $1 was worth $1,
Yep.
100%, brother.
Ah,
100%.
For real. So, anyways, I love
Yeah.
the directness of it. I actually really
Yeah.
like the art on here. I love the way the suit looks. And to me, he was just being Superman at the time. I also love the really well balanced nature of Superman and Clark Kent. You really got the feeling of, wow, okay, he does pull off being Superman and Clark Kent, especially it was most effective around Lois Lane. He made himself look a bit weak around Lois Lane. And then with Superman, he was just a man of absolute dominance and stoicism. Whereas the Lois, for Clark Kent, he's just like, oh crud, like I can't, I can't blow my cover, but I have to let this be. I hate it because I like this girl, but you can't have it both ways type of situation. I was like, okay, cool. They're showing you even at that time how you can believe in the identity. So it obviously some of the stuff later I got added on, whether it was the higher octave voice. I think the movie actually started that one, and the way he stood, the way he carried himself with his
and in the comics, he's a
stature.
shapeshifter. He can shape his face to any features he wants.
Yes.
He can modify a bit his body. Then you have around the 60s era is a kind of psychic power that deters people. Yeah, super dickery. That
Oh,
was
the panels are hilarious, D, but I freaking love them.
Yeah.
But they explain the dual identity so well. Even though it's not the Daily Planet yet, you get the idea of where Clark is, who Lois Lane is,
Oh, yeah.
and you see the groundwork for the foundation of what's to be the supporting cast. And you right out the bat though, like Clark Kent absolutely is nailed. I love that.
Yeah, the first
I
time
am in
that
love
we
with
see him
that.
fighting, he's fighting a case of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't Metallo. This isn't Mr. Mixius Pitalik. This isn't Mongol. This isn't Manchester Black. So this is just straight up regular bad things happening to regular people. and we see how he reacts to that, which I love to see. And to me, that's a very perfect way of starting off a run of what would become a long-running franchise piece of history. This is Superman. He doesn't just have power guys; he also handles these other things as well. And I also love how they had the guy hanging on the phone wire. That was so hilarious. Nowadays, he would get so canceled for doing that. But that was,
Right.
I laughed my ass off. And then once
and
again, this is where that nature, and I'll let you take away after your comment, but you see
Yeah, go
where
ahead.
with Lois, like she's like, oh, this guy gets to bring me home. I'm safe with him. She sees Clark the next day and she couldn't care less. All done in the course of a few panels. It's amazing. Once again, even this once again, it's like 12 or 13 pages. So I guess this is what you would call a complete short story at the time. And he's off to take care of family stuff. Subscribe. Thank you, Taryn. Appreciate that, dude. Great to meet you.
Thanks,
Glad we
buddy.
crossed paths on the D-Day Cobra chat. Hopefully this will lead to something a little bit more, sir. Take care.
Yeah.
Once again, within a few panels, a lot happened. We're in this day and age with current Marvel for the last 10, 15 years, where it takes a whole 5, 6 issues for something to happen. In a few panels, lots happen. In a few panels in one page, lots has happened. All right, take it away, Common.
Well, one of the things I was going to point out was in that last scene when we were up a little farther was the fact that this shows you just how early on in their relationship it is, because like she flat out calls him a coward. He's like, Lois, why do you avoid me at work? You know, she gives him she gives him another shot to go out to dinner and dancing. And then because he's trying to play up the coward aspect of Clark Kent, so nobody suspects he's Superman, he literally lets himself get pushed around in front of the girl he adores and wants to be with. And then of course, like it literally all blows up in his face. And then of course he starts to save her as Superman. Whereas once again, all leads us to the whole like Lois Lane falls in love with Superman before she realizes he's Clark Kent. Yeah. And you see literally the very first panels of that in this issue. You see the very beginning of their relationship. So for all of the other things that changed about Superman and his powers and all of that kind of stuff, his relationship with Lois Lane has been there literally since day one.
And they took those panels for the Donner movie, and it works absolutely perfect on screen and on page. Because it's just Superman is not trying to anything. He's just saving her. He's just doing the right thing. And obviously she's just absolutely blown away. And when she goes to the office next day, she's like, I saw Superman. We are talking Superman. Everything is Superman now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, and that's normally the way it ends up coming too, whenever somebody like that hits it on the big scene so much. So yeah, there's a lot of great things to go through and go back to this story. You know, is it necessarily the Superman you're going to recognize from the modern iterations that you know? No, but you see all of the beginnings of those aspects and how they've developed, and you can kind of get an idea of where it started, and knowing what you know about how Superman is now, where all that began and how it all developed. And you can see all of those seeds being planted right here. And you love it. You love getting to see that the rest of the time. So,
Did you notice that there were some coloring errors on those pages? If you see on the hand where Superman is holding Lois.
Oh, it's blue down there. Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this issue.
That is
and I mean
so
it. There's
great.
a lot of that.
Oh, and guess what? They fixed it in the reprint.
Yep.
They fixed it in the reprint.
That's why I'm saying if you had the reprint, the remaster, or you had the original, because the original has a lot of things that the remaster doesn't, because the remaster is blended up, is recolored. The colors are no way the real colors.
Well, I mean, they're pretty close. I'm looking at it right here, and the only thing that's different is the blue's a little brighter, but that's only because you got to think about it. This is an issue that's faded too. This wasn't
Oh,
an
yeah.
issue that was fresh off the press. This stuff didn't get uploaded until like 2016. So it's like this is a
Yeah, but
really old version.
digital coloring changes a lot for that.
For better and
But-
worse. Mutually
Okay, but
exclusively.
the only way we would actually know that is if we had original prints in 100% perfect condition from that era, or if we had some like original slide or something. That would be, I'd be curious to see, like the original slides,
even
if
if you
that kind of
had-
thing even existed.
Even if you had it on full vacuum for the last
Yeah.
let's say 60 to 70 years, not from day one, but a long as time, yeah, there will still be a lot of decoloration because it's not only the oxidation from the
The-
air. You actually have a lot of oxygen that leaves the cellulose as the cellulose evaporates a bit, and that will take from the colors of the ink a lot.
Yeah.
So it's
So if anything-
basically impossible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, at this point, these might actually be like an improvement over the originals for all we know.
Oh no, trust me.
But I love being able to point out all of the different little things that like Pablo was pointing out, all the little changes, all of the little difference, all that little kind of stuff. And that's why I appreciate the fact that we have like internet archives and stuff like that, because this way we'll have the originals preserved forever. You know what I mean? At least in the best condition that we could get a hold of them at the time. You know what I mean? And so that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. And I mean, honestly, and it's one of those things too, even with like the fixes and the changes they made to the reprints, it's like, let's be honest, if you were an editor back then and you would have had the ability to go back and fix it after it printed, would you have not done that? Yes.
They did that a
Like,
lot.
of course you would have. Yeah.
There
So-
was on that era, there was a lot of comics that had second printing that had a lot of fixes,
Mhm.
and even subsequent printing a few years later that had a lot of things cleaned. But on the digital version, if you see on the lining on, for example, there's a panel where you can see that the nose on Superman doesn't have the black line completing it. It has a piece where there's no black line, right? On the digital, they fix that. So a lot of the small details from the drawing, from the original drawing, are lost because of the digitalization.
Mhm.
And that's the part that actually, for me, takes away from the issue.
And
Because
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, man. Go on, Paul. I just want to add that in.
no, is you need, if you want to read the original version, if you want to feel everything that was on the page the day that the kids open it on the 38th, I mean year, not right, is it's almost impossible now with the digital versions because they fix so many shit that didn't need to be fixed. That's the point. This is issue one. Sometimes the S is yellow and the background on the S is yellow and the outside of the S is yellow. Sometimes it's not yellow.
There's sometimes when the cape is not there and it's supposed to be on, which to
Yep.
me is like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I know it's not something that like inherently is like, oh man, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm not that nitpicky because I understand, things happen, deadlines are a
Yeah,
thing,
like that
especially
panel
at
right there
time.
in the middle.
Oh,
Yep,
I
look
see.
at
Look
that
at
one right
that.
there.
I swear
Yeah,
I
right
did not mean to
I
highlight
knew
this
I,
panel.
I knew there was one in here as soon as you said that. I remember seeing one of the panels that had his thing missing, and
I
that's one of them
swear,
right
I did not mean for it to stop there. I swear, I wasn't even looking. I was just kind of like let it scroll up. No, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Also, Superman
God's
face
plans always work out.
changes from the first half to the second half.
Uh-huh.
It changes a lot, and there's a panel where he looks comically weird. His face is just absolutely horrifying, and that's the kind of shit that you don't need to fix. That's the kind of shit that you let it be. You acknowledge and embrace it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is part of history. It's more than just a random cartoonist doing some shit. It's history. This started a whole industry, basically, because comics will not be where they are without Superman. Superman moved a lot of copies. Superman got a lot of people interested, even on the military. They were sending issues to the military when they were fighting. It changed how people perceived comics on a fundamental level. People were fans of Superman, not just fans of something as a medium. They were fans of Superman as the character. They loved the character. They wanted to have the best of the best. And then the black and white TV series happened. Yeah, that one I cannot explain. Alcohol? Lots and lots of alcohol.
Alcohol. Lots and lots of alcohol. Speaking of alcohol, to our chat, thank you guys for being here with us,
Yeah.
hanging out. To Brad Young for his direct donation, and to Taryn the Black as well for being a newcomer listening on in. And of course, to our Rumble side, Toolback and Madhouse Retro. Thank you guys for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. So I just want to say, guys, thank you for running the show. It's been a wild week, but you know what? That's why we got this show, to level us out of it. Keep us grounded, keep us optimistic, and keep us also celebrating our friend Clobby and paying tribute with some classic comics, because we haven't done as much of that recently. And this is long overdue, especially for Action Comics #1. This is really overdue. So to all of you guys and to my panel, thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Commodore, for your time, gentlemen. I appreciate the hell of you dudes. You have no idea.
Cheers.
Salud. Dude, I miss alcohol.
Ah!
I was just thinking, last time I drank alcohol was on a show with you guys on
Good.
December. That was the last
Wow.
time I had a drop of alcohol.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
With that haven't changed. Alcohol did.
Well, let's be honest. The alcohol's a bit more poison than the cannabis.
Yeah.
The more
I'm
we have to
using a
process
vaporizer.
some.
So
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
I don't even get the soot on the lungs.
No, that's why I do dab, because it's all
Yeah.
vaporizing. But yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, no, this is just such classic stuff. I mean, this is what you really like to go and see. And you're right, Nick. It's been far too long since we've done this. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of the reasons why I started showing up to this show, you know, is because we were going through and reading. I was getting to go back and read all of the things that I'd never got to read before, and like being able to go back and do this again. And because obviously we all know the story of like Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four, and we all know kind of the origin stories of Superman and all that kind of stuff. But it's fun to go back and actually read it straight from the panel itself and actually see it and read through the exact words. It's one thing to know the story. It's different to actually read it and see it for yourself and be reminded of all of the things that you think you might have known of how exactly the story went down. And maybe you weren't so sure after all. And you get to some really awesome classic dialogue. Like, I can't remember there was one of them earlier. I'll have to go back and look at it. But there was one of them earlier in the Action Comics. It was a really good line. And it was just like straight, like 1920s, 1930s. What do they call it? Slang. And yeah, it was just like, that's one of the best parts about going back and reading some of this stuff. Like when we were reading the classic Spider-Man comics and all of that kind of stuff, like some of the slang they used in there is just hilarious. You're gonna freaking love it. You're absolutely gonna freaking love it.
Okay, I have something to say. We are talking Action Comics #1, not only Superman, the first story. And we haven't touched Satra, Master Magician. We haven't even tried to go into Chuck Dawson. That's also Action Comics #1, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Superman's the guy we know. Did anybody else last?
Yeah, it was the opening act. That's for sure.
No, I know. No, I was asking about the rest of the characters you mentioned. Did any of the rest of them last?
I don't. Satra did last a bit. Dawson, I don't know, man. I haven't seen him in anything else, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's why probably everybody remembers Action Comics #1 for Superman, because he's the only one that lasted. It's normally how it goes, unfortunately. Yeah, think about it too, dude. Imagine like doing like I don't know, like a top 10 like comics hero characters that have been forgotten to time, and going all the way back into like this era. Like I guarantee you, like Nick loves the Condor, right? And like Condiment King, I guarantee you we can find some even weirder motherfuckers from like these eras. You know what I mean? Like it's gotta be wild.
Oh,
back
yeah. And in DC, they had a lot of crazy shit. The only thing is that most of the crazy shit is actually really racy. It's a different era of comics, so there's a lot of gypsies that are evil. There's a lot of Chinamen that are evil. And they just go with it. They enjoy it to the fullest. These days, you do that, yeah, you're fired. Sorry, I had to, yeah, reality sad sometimes. Also, there's something, yeah, as Jesse said, most people remember Action Comics #1 just for Superman. I think the same happens with a lot of other characters. Spider-Man. If you think about Amazing Fantasy #15, Spider-Man, right? But can most people cannot tell you another character that started on Amazing Fantasy. And same with the Strange Tales. Everybody knows Doctor Strange. Strange Tales had a lot of crazy shit.
Same thing with Detective Comics #1.
Yep. I think it's 37, 38, first appearance for Batman. But before that, you had a lot of different characters going through.
But yeah, I just meant like Detective Comics in general. But
Yeah.
that's what Detective Comics is remembered for. And there's not, I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head that anybody can be remembered from Detective Comics other than Batman.
Satana. I think Satana appeared the first time on Detective. Just let me check that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, how about this conversation where Superman is eavesdropping? How about this conversation? And bro,
No, she appeared first on Hawkman. Sorry.
You're good.
Where he takes a corrupt senator for the deal, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. And the guy's like, no. Nowadays it's big, you're triggering my microaggression. Oh
exactly
man,
what it
I
comes
laughed
down to.
so hard at this.
The way Superman is just, the guy is basically a ragdoll on his hands, and the guy is just crying and wanting everything to stop, and Superman is just making jokes. Oops, I almost touched the pole. Dude, Superman was a dick.
Oh my god, stop, we'll be electrocuted. No, we won't. Birds sit on telephone wires and they aren't electrocuted, because this is back before he could fly. So he's literally doing his jump tall buildings in a single bound all the way to get up to the electrical wires and drag this guy across it. I just love it. I don't need your arm, your foot will do just as well. Like, yeah, like this is just, I love it.
Okay, did you? I finished Marco Polo. I won't go further than Marco Polo. Did you guys got any of the other stories on Action Comics #1, or you just read Superman?
Superman's all I got.
You have the.
I read both.
Oh, perfect.
I read Fantastic Four as well. I mean,
no.
I read Fantastic Four.
I didn't mean that. On Action Comics
like the
#1.
other Action comic.
Oh no, I didn't read the side. So I mentioned that earlier. I didn't read the side source. I kept it to this because, as I mentioned earlier, It's like, yeah, I took I did take like a skim through at it. I took a skim through at it, but I didn't do any like really deep reading it because I was trying to see if there's anything important that would catch my eye as far as being, I guess, relevant to this core story. And nothing caught my eye. But to be fair, I may have missed something, but there's nothing there. But you can tell us what you caught out of it.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
I was finishing Marco Polo. Is actually a really good telling of the story. The Arabic is just random. Can you go down? Just for it, the hell of it, so people know the kind of. No, go all the way down. I'm talking about Marco Polo. That's 3 or 4 stories down. Yeah, that's Satra. Satra is actually really good.
Magician. Looks like
I
it.
will say that was really good. Then you have.
Is that Popeye?
Oh, there you go. You are on Marco Polo. Okay.
Oh, there you
Go
go.
a little.
Oh, quite literally
Yeah,
Marco
go
Polo.
down. Yeah, it's
This
Marco
was
Polo.
this was a this
Go
is a
down a bit.
historical comic.
No shit. Go down a bit. You are almost there. Don't worry. I will tell you. Go down a bit. A bit more. Nick, scroll down a bit. A bit more. There you go. There. No. There. Zoom there on the panel that you just passed. Go up. There. No. There. On the middle. Just zoom. Zoom
Oh,
it
it's hard
out.
to zoom on this thing. Yeah, well,
Oh,
zoom
you
in the
can.
middle, Nick.
Well,
It's not letting me zoom.
Okay,
It's
if
not
you
letting
can
me
see,
zoom.
there's a couple of guys talking Arabic there.
Mhm.
You want me to read it?
It's not actually Arabic. It's random shit.
Oh, the stuff scrawled down there on those 2 boxes down there with the above the camels.
Yep.
Well,
it's just random shit.
yeah, I think you could probably see that from the panel. It is just squiggly lines. Like, I don't think they were trying to put Arabic in there.
The same is with
Oh.
Japanese and Chinese. They use random shit.
Like, we're not gonna bother trying to learn that stuff and translate. We ain't got time for that shit. Just scribble some lines in there. That's all anybody needs to know. All you gotta do is look at them and tell it's gonna be Arabic. All you gotta do is look at them and tell it's gonna be Chinese. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I love
No,
that.
you will get a whole organization from the Middle East trying to get people fired and shit. This is just, I don't know Arabic. Well, random scribbles it is.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it. That's how they should still do it to this day. Screw that. If we want to know,
that's why I
know what
love
they
South
say,
Park.
we'll translate it into English.
Dude, if you see South Park, when they are talking in random languages, they are actually talking in the language, but they are telling a lot of random shit. For example, when Randy gets a new toilet, this fancy toilet, and they come to kill him and kill the Japanese guy that installed the toilet. The other Japanese guy just start crying and saying, Samishi! That means sad on Japanese. It's just sad. An actual Japanese will never say that. We'll say something way different, but no, they just go with the most stupid shit possible, and that's it. It works.
Sounds about right.
It works all right.
They have that song, Protect My Balls.
Oh, Jesus.
From when they did the anime episodes on South Park, that they are ninjas and everything. The background song is Protect My Balls. Yeah, the song actually makes sense on Japanese. It's stupid as fuck, but makes sense. They are talking about their testicles.
Crap. Seriously, it sounds insane.
It starts with Subarashi Kintama Garu. I have some, sorry, my brain automatically tried to translate to Spanish for some reason. It means I have wonderful testicles.
Whoa.
That's ridiculous.
That is insane.
That song makes sense.
Seriously,
It's stupid as fuck.
insane. Oh my god. Oh man.
That's nuts.
Yeah, the good part about knowing Japanese is that I can get all those jokes are great. Those jokes are great. Fucking South
Your
Park, man.
jokes are great. Oh man.
Oh,
Dude. Oh, that's ridiculous. So yeah, well, let's just say wrapping it up. Let our overall
Giggity.
thoughts on Action Comics #1. Let's start off with you, Pablo.
Well, Superman, absolutely fantastic, right? It's just a cool story that you can read really easily. You have this powerful character that is a dick, and you have a bit of a love story, although he gets slapped. You just stop chasing girls that slap you. Unless you like that kind of stuff, then, well, whatever tickles your pickle, I guess. The other stories, there's some that are really good, man. There's some that are really good. I will encourage anybody to read the side stories. They are worth it.
Wow. That's quite a surprising endorsement to hear. You would encourage to read those stories. Okay.
Yeah, basically that will be it. Also, read Tex Thompson. That's the best one.
Okay. There you go.
Wow. That is wild. Just saying, man. Okay, we'll comment. And also, before we do, hi, Ironcaster.
Hello.
Hi.
Glad you finally made it.
Yeah. Apologies for that. Life gets in the way sometimes.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. We'll blame you anyway.
Okay.
But no, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed going back and reading Action Comics #1. I've read it before because I've had the omnibus for a while for the golden age of Superman and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of fun. Like I said earlier, it's really cool to go back and see this and see the original version of him versus what we know now. And also to see the beginnings of all of his origins and all of that kind of stuff there. The relationship with Lois Lane, how Clark Kent is so much different than the Superman that we know. And sometimes they kind of blur those lines a little bit more in later iterations. You don't necessarily see the cowardly Clark Kent. And honestly, because you start to see a lot less of Clark Kent as it goes forward, which sometimes I think can be a bad thing. But at the exact same time, getting to see this from the very beginning, getting to see him just be that very straightforward kind of, I don't really view it as an asshole going through and reading this. I think it is just, he's much more very straightforward. This is a different time. This is a different era. They spoke differently to each other. Nobody really tipped around the twosies. Also, you see the times where he is kind of being what you would think of as quote unquote rude. Well, it's because the guy's on a time crunch. He's got 15 minutes before this chick's executed. He's got to get in the governor. There's a stupid clown in his way that's some dumbass assistant, you know what I mean, that probably gets paid minimum wage, but feels important because he's the assistant to the governor. So I get the hell out of my way, dude. I ain't got no time to talk to you. I got to get to the governor. We got to get this lady's life saved. It won't do me any good to talk to you. And so, like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the directness because, like I said, in the modern era, everybody knows who he is. So Superman can drop in on the governor at 2:00 in the morning and the governor's going to sit and go, what do you need? Whereas, this is the first time. This is before anybody's really known too much about him. It's where he doesn't even want to get caught at the scene of of where he just beat up the domestic abuser. He's got to get back into his Clark Kent persona before the cops show up. So that way, that they don't see him because he doesn't want to see Superman attached to this. He just doesn't want him to see him a whole lot. And so, yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a great start. Like I said, you can see where the differences come from. Also, one of the differences we didn't point out earlier as well. And I remember reading this the first time going, oh, that's neat. So Superman does not get his strength from the sun at this point, boys and girls. That is something that is retconned later. Because in this very first issue, is it explained that Kryptonians on the point of maturity gain unnatural and what we would consider superior strength. But as they explain it in the first few panels of this issue, that it's really not all that crazy to think another species of humanoid might do that because the ants on our own planet are 20 times stronger then what they, basically can lift 20 times their own body weight, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of the whole thing with Superman. And so that's something that's a drastic change from what, if you asked most people, if you asked any normie on the street out there, where did Superman originally get his powers from? They're going to tell you the sun, right? That's what they're going to tell you. They're
Mhm.
not going to tell you, well, in Action Comics #1, it was actually not that way. And so that's another great reason to go back and read this stuff and go back and read these original stories and the original source material. Because not only is that going to make you smarter than 99% of the other people out there about Superman and the rest of these characters, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see the differences and the changes, especially if you really are a fan of these characters. So go read it if you haven't. Go check it out.
Also, they set up the basic parameters of his powers. He can run faster than a speeding train. He can leap a building, and he has tremendous strength. Actually, I think the phrasing is raise tremendous weights or something like that. But yeah, that's all the powers that he has at that point. And they have a cool explanation for everything, and this will be retcon, I think, some of these even next issue.
Oh yeah, there's quick. I can no. I'm curious to see what literally happens next in Action Comics #2. It's really crazy how I'm like, wow, they make me want to know what is the future straight up. So for me, I thought this was actually a really solid introduction to this character. We understand really quickly what Superman and Clark Kent are like by personality. We learned that Lois Lane is there. We know Clark's job. Sure, we don't know all the things that he does and will do, but we know, okay, this is a company that he works at. And you don't get that much revealed. You get some surface ideas. There are some major things revealed, like you get an idea of how powerful Superman is. You see that he attempts to small things that for other heroes would be, let's just say, below his pay grade, not in a literal sense, but in a figurative, because of how powerful and earth-shattering he actually is. And also, the Daily Planet was not always the Daily Planet; it was like Daily Star or something like that. It was cool to see that. But it was great to see what the culture was like at the time as well. That was really cool to see. Also, him showing off for me, my favorite part was the identity of Superman and Clark Kent. It feels like they were trying to be aware that to someone out, even in the before times, someone's going to think, how can they mistake the same guy when he's right in front of you? And I feel like they made it very clear, even in an early day and age, to everyone in the world, Superman is always Superman anytime, anywhere. He doesn't walk among us. He's not a guy who's hiding in plain sight. He's just Superman. He's always there. Not a guy who is actually walking among us, blending in with the crowd. I feel like that was the key thing that this issue established perfectly.
Man, there's two perfect issues for an introduction of a character. I will say Action Comics is one. The other one is Amazing Fantasy #15. Why? On Superman's case, they give you that sensation of Superman is not human. Superman is with us, but he is something way different. So his problems are not human, right? Then you see Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy #15, the introduction of Peter Parker. Peter Parker's issues are normal kid issues. They are just something that anybody can have. Anybody will be in this kind of trouble. Anybody will be needing money. Everybody gets some power and will try to get money from it because duh. So the characters in both issues are introduced exactly how you should look at them for the rest of their existence. One is an stranger that is helping people. The other one is a guy that just is really stupid and has a lot of bad luck. Also has a genius intellect. That doesn't help. is the perfect setup. If you
Yeah,
want
it
to
is the
show,
grandest setup.
if you want to show how the character will be or what the character is, you cannot do better, in my opinion.
All right, Caster, sir.
Well, I will say it's been a while since I've gone and reread this. A couple years ago, I had gone through and started doing some rereading of the early stuff. I got through about 30, 40 or so of the issues, and it's pretty refreshing to go back and revisit and see the more humble origins of the character and how in these early years it was just stopping bank robbers and a surprising amount of collapsing mines. But Action Comics #1, it's a solid start for the character. This is the character that was essentially became an archetype that virtually every other hero has followed in the footsteps of, even though he himself is very similar to other characters such as Doc Savage. Uh, but it's it always kind of it's fascinating to come back and revisit it, seeing, for lack of better words, he's super. His power set is very simple and easy to understand. He runs fast, he's strong, he's durable. This is just he's doing everything normal people feasibly can do, just more. And really, really, with that, there's not much I can say more that hasn't really been said here. It, it's a must read to at least have experienced once.
Oh yeah.
I mean, also there's a lot of the familiar elements that are here, like Lois is right in the first issue, though we don't get her last name, I don't believe.
Ooh.
No, we get I think we do
Yeah,
get
we get
Miss
Lois Lane's
Lane
like,
thing.
yeah, we get
Yeah,
Lois,
we
yeah.
do.
Yeah, because I think he even calls her Miss Lane at one point.
Yeah, I think we actually do get that.
Yeah.
But go on.
maybe I missed the late or I skipped over that part, but I know I definitely saw Lois. But what can you say? It's one of the most iconic comic covers of all time. I like it. It's worth having experienced.
Well, and it's one of those covers everybody knows too. Like everybody's seen it on T-shirts. Like everybody knows Action Comics #1. It's like literally, in the cultural zeitgeist. So for nothing else, for that reason alone, you should definitely read it for that.
I mean, the suit itself is so iconic, even though it does the look is remarkably improved later on. He's not made out to be like the Incredible Bulk, like he gets made out to be later on, which is refreshing. He's just a relatively well in shape looking man.
True. You know what? I think Ironcaster might be right. I think there you go.
Which
God damn it, I was muted.
Oh, no wonder. What the hell, Pablo? Where the hell have you been? That's why. What are you doing?
Oh, God damn it.
No, I think Ironcaster might be right. I don't think you actually ever do see her name in here or not.
well, no, they call her Lois, but I mean her last name.
No, I meant her last name. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. I don't think I see it. I thought I did, but I guess it's probably just like all of us. We just assumed it was in there because you always hear that. And like, how many times do we thought of Clark when he says Miss Lane instead of Lois?
I was
So-
investigating about the trunks, about the trousers.
What about it?
Something fun. Apparently, the reasoning for the red trousers were it was not just to cut the suit and everything. It was because of the printers of the time.
Well, he
Uh,
was designed after the muscle men from the freak shows and circus. That's why he had the shorts.
No, yeah, but originally there was no shorts, then there was shorts, and the red is because of the printers.
Oh, because they're red because of the printers. I got you.
I was not expecting that. It's, how many things on comics have been shaped because of the technology of the time, or because of issues with the technology of the time? Think about Hulk. Why
That's
he's
what I was gonna say. Yeah, why he's green?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
green,
Pablo, I
the ink
assure
was
you,
cheaper and it worked better, and it was easier to get it consistently the same color than the other color that they had him as. Because did he start out like gray or something like that? Wasn't that what
Yep.
it was? Yeah, gray. And the problem was it was easier to get a consistent shade of green at during every printing than it was to try to get the same shade of gray. Because otherwise, he would have always been a slightly different shade. The green was a lot easier to match.
Dude, it's so sometimes you research some of this random shit and you find the most weird and cool story. I I don't know. There's sometimes that you are investigating about Blue Beetle, for example, and the decisions on everything from the original Blue Beetle or the original Green Lantern were just, we need shit done right now.
I believe it.
That's true. That's true. I love this. Hey, Pablo, you were asking about the whole thing earlier, right?
Mhm.
So we've got actual stats here. So he can leap an eighth of a mile, right? Leap an eighth of a mile, hurdle a 20-story building, raise tremendous weights, is what they said.
Yeah.
Raise tremendous weights and run faster than an express train, and that nothing less than a bursting shell could penetrate his skin. So they literally lay that out in the first few panels. Like they tell you exactly what he's got going on. And it's pretty wild.
In comics,
pretty
on
wild.
that time, they did that often because
Yeah.
superpowers were not the norm.
No, I know.
If
This was all new to a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you had to explain the science fiction part. Normally, you
Oh,
will
yeah.
expect either the gifts from the gods or some.
Yeah, like a Hercules kind of story.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
something out of Asia and Japan where you get a gift from some dragon or fox or some shit. Yeah.
Or Samson on the Bible. Well,
Right. With
not
his
the.
hair and
Yeah.
Samson in the Bible. Yeah, because it was his hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's different variations of that story outside of the Bible.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different variations of strong men all over the place. I mean, you could argue that Hercules was kind of similar to the story of Samson.
You know what's the commonality between all the stories? It's
Strength.
always the woman. It's a
well,
warning about
okay.
evil women. It's not a warning about
Pablo.
losing power or the exercise of power. It's about bitches be bitches.
Dude, no.
Be warned.
Pablo, you literally need to read the Old Testament. Half of the Old Testament is your dick gets you in trouble, right? Your dick and shady women get you in trouble is literally half the stories in the Old Testament.
Dude,
Things were
I-
going fine until a woman became involved.
Yeah, David was great
yeah.
until Sheba or until this other chick got involved. And then until this chick and this wife of his commander got involved, right? Same thing with Solomon. Solomon was great until fucking Sheba got involved. You know, so it's like you literally like it's the same story over and over. There's other ones like that, one king had like this horrible mother, and she was this evil, just vile, manipulative bitch. You know what I mean? And that led to his downfall, you know. So
And dude,
be careful about the women you have in your lives, boys. That's what it's trying to tell you. And don't stick your dick in too much.
Be careful. Be so very, very careful, dudes.
Dude, you
Yes,
go to
exactly.
even older stories. With Gilgamesh, what was his big mistake? Not digging the right woman, because, well, the goddess of fertility wanted his fertility, and he said, "Nah, bitch, you nasty." Well, that didn't end well.
Dog. No,
That's
it
like
didn't.
the story of was it what's God I can't remember what it is. It's the old Norse one. That Angelina Jolie was the evil monster in it in the kind of quasi animated version. Beowulf. Beowulf is the same thing. Everything's going pretty well for him until he sleeps with the fucking demon monster to give her a baby. You know what I mean? So
Don't forget Helen of Troy.
oh yeah. I mean Cleopatra, anybody?
Yeah.
Like holy shit, guys. And even comics would teach you that as well.
Oh,
great.
absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Dude, in comics, having an evil woman is not only a trope, it's a necessity.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
sometimes you need to do something so evil, so repulsive, so nasty, but so passional that there's no way a man can do it. That's the reason why hell exists.
Mhm.
And most importantly, let's not forget that. Let's not forget the legendary band Electric Light Orchestra gave us an iconic song, "Evil Woman."
Mhm.
Oh,
Let's be honest, even in random TV shows, Power Rangers, what's the best evil guy on Power Rangers? Rita Repulsa.
oh yeah, yeah.
She's
yeah,
not
that's true.
really evil. She's just incompetently evil.
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah.
Still a lot of evil
Egomaniac.
capabilities within that.
no.
Still some evil there, dude. Still.
Zed
Go ahead.
was a threat. Zed was intimidating, and then a woman got involved.
Yeah.
That's good. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Rita screwed Zed over too. That's
Mhm.
right. Shit, I forgot about that.
You know, I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because when he got out, she was like, "Oh shit."
Zed.
Yeah.
And then she drugged him, and now he became like a kind of joke of a
Oh
villain.
Yeah, she literally
she
used a love
roofied
potion on him. Yeah,
Yep.
she used a love potion on his ass. Oh, don't stick your dick in crazy, boys. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Oh my god, that's so
Dude,
wonderful. Holy shit.
a few years ago, I started watching Rent a Girlfriend because it was actually a quirky love story with some extras that was really enticing. Well,
I bet it had some extras that were really enticing.
no,
to you, Pablo.
this is the thing. The final chapter leaked after the guy
Oh.
was renting this girl, spending $250,000 on that beach and only getting laid once. He tries to ask her to be his girlfriend, and she rejects him because she wants to become a prostitute.
And that's something you enjoyed reading, Pablo.
Well, it stopped being enjoyable when the guy started being a cuckold, but at this point, I didn't thought it will go to hell this much.
It was actually a really popular manga for its time.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but it was one that kept getting mentioned so often that it
Oh,
became one
yeah?
of those top like kind of rom-com sort of manga that kept getting referred to. You know, it's like, oh, it's up here with like this and Nagatoro and Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. There's a couple of other ones that were all right in that similar sort of category, and that one kept kind of rising above them all the same. And then yeah, this ending is totally destroyed all that.
Yep. For context, the author of the manga actually is in love with the female character so much that he has drawn her. He got a whole apartment and just to be him with his wife, and then draw his wife, that is the character, in the rooms of the apartment, including her in the shower and shit like that.
That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
His wife was his muse.
It,
Yeah, but
it
if
was
you've
a
got her
weird-
walking around the apartment, why do you have to draw her everywhere?
Dude, I have no idea. It's one of the
Fucking
craziest
weird, man.
stories from manga. And trust me, manga is weird. The people that work on
Dude.
manga, a lot of them actually psychos.
No, really? No. I would
Great psychos,
Oh my
but psychos nonetheless.
Jesus. Tobox says go to Prostitution Alley and get robbed. I was robbed 6 times last week. Oh shit.
Wow. And you ain't even in Chirac. You ain't even in Chirac, coming.
Oh, that's fucking great. Fucking Tobach. That is great, dude. Holy shit. Oh, that is absolutely
Dude.
glorious.
Dude.
Our chat's hilarious.
Oh, I know. Yuzaki-chan, Sugoi, Dekai.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gesundheit.
Oh, we'll see. Shows you how much I know.
Well, no, because we were talking about in the chat. TZ Burton said so. Basically, the Bible says don't fuck crazy, or was the first thing to tell you don't fuck crazy. And I was like, dude, literally the first 3 books of Proverbs are don't stick your dick in like loose whore women, especially if they're like married and shit. Like, don't stick your dick in an adulterous woman. Like literally what the first 3 books of Proverbs are about, man.
My
Like
dude,
the Bible really reiterates don't dick with crazy, man. Like they really reiterate that over and over and over.
no,
Some of us just don't
Jesse,
listen.
it's even worse. It's inevitable to stick it in crazy. You know why?
They're all crazy.
Why?
Adam and Eve. There's only one woman in the whole world, and that bitch got us fucked.
Yeah, but
Everybody.
you can totally blame Adam for that too, because it was the man's job to lead and like keep his wife from doing dumb things. You know what I mean? Like that was like God charged him with being the leader of the household, and
In
he
his
just sat back
defense.
there and watched Eve while she fucking ate the apple and listened to the snake. So
In
yeah, you
his
gotta blame.
defense, I will tell you, this have never happened before. Was a true statement every time on that era. So
Man was content to live in nature, and then women were created, and that was when all the mistakes began.
yeah, the guy is happy. He's living the life. He has everything he wants to eat. He has animals to care. He has a paradise.
He's hanging out. He's like, "Hey, that's a platypus."
Yeah, the only thing that is missing on his life is some pussy. Then he gets it and loses everything else. That's the beginning of the Bible. So everything that happens afterward is basically, dude, if you cannot sense the foreshadowing in the first chapter, you are kind of dumb. It's going to happen again and again and again and again. And yeah,
Well,
the
and that-
Bible is basically
right.
that.
Well, it's one of those situations though too. If you study the Bible, especially the Old Testament, you'll show how our culture is sickler, right? Like we go through cycles all the time because it's like that. That's like that where that whole saying, the whole good men, strong men make good times make weak men, and rinse and repeat, right? And it's that exact same time. If you go through and read the Bible over and over again, it's like everything gets really good, everybody gets really comfortable, and then they fall into all their sinful ways. And everything goes to crap all over again, right? Ego, narcissism, all those things become predominant in your culture. Huh? What's that sound like? That couldn't possibly be anything like Hollywood in the modern era at all. And then everything burns down. You lose everything. You lose billions of dollars at the box office. Your ratings end up in the toilet. Your kingdom gets overrun by the fellow kingdom, right? Because you're not doing things right anymore. And then everything goes to hell. Everybody goes, shit, we really screwed up. We're sorry. We got to go back. We got to go back to tradition. We got to go back. And then everything gets good for a little while again. And then everything goes to hell again.
Brand Jones says, name one man who hasn't done something stupid for pussy. And
What else did he say?
Gross.
Or bussy if you swim that way.
Oh, that's gross.
Well,
Gross.
I just want to hear you say that.
That's why those are the first lessons they teach you in the Bible, Brad. That's why we all need to study it from an early age. If just for advice, we're gonna know. Be careful where you stick your dick, boys.
I will tell you this. Even sorry, YouTube, go fuck yourself. If just you look a bit on some trans women that are real man,
God.
well, they have been fucked by women also, like Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, he's something really stupid in this world, but it was the girl from Bud Light, the one that actually fucked him over. Even when you become a woman, you are not safe from a woman fucking you.
Oh,
yeah, because it was
Yo.
Budweiser's marketing agent was
Yo.
a woman.
yeah, us men, man, guilty as charged. Hi, YouTube. Yeah, no shite, man. For
Oh, it's Friday night. What a night.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll drink to that.
There you go. There you
I
go.
gotta get a refill. I've been holding it. I'm just like, I'm listening, but I gotta get a refill. I need to have another
do it.
glass.
I
we gotta
have
get
been
the Fantastic
drinking
Four
iced tea
anyway.
and smoking weed. Well, not smoking,
There you go.
vaporizing, but same shit,
Right.
right?
Oh yeah, we know what you mean. Yeah, most people, yeah, we get it. Yeah, I did a dab earlier, so I'm feeling pretty good right now too. So yeah, we're all high and mighty.
Man, we went on
Um,
that absolute rabbit hole
That's where
because of
this-
Lois.
this is why I talk. I like I said, I've said this before, and I'll say it again on this show. This is what if you guys ever went to a comic shop, if you ever hung out with a group of other nerds, and you just started talking about nerdy shit.
Yeah.
This is the exact same kind of rabbit holes you would always end up at the comic shop talk, at your local game store, at your local friend's clubhouse that you're hanging out talking about nerdy shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is exactly what happens every
If
single time.
you haven't been talking about the comic, the Illuminati, and end up talking about tools, construction tools, you haven't lived. And if you know the whole connection between the Illuminati and tools, well, masonry.
Well,
Do I
yeah,
need
but
to
that's like-
elaborate?
Well, I mean, but that's like, that's like saying like like, and that's the other thing too, is they've never actually been able to prove the Illuminati actually exists. We know the Freemasons exist.
Oh,
We know
obviously.
Skull and Bones exist, stuff and like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's just always been a lot of hints at it in the culture. And I love those little rabbit holes where you get all those hints from like the music and the rap industry and like all of those, like this is why certain people were taken out and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, so who did Diddy piss off? Who did Diddy finally betray?
Dude,
Because the
some,
Illuminati are turning their backs on him now.
some people say Tupac was done by Diddy. Some people say that was done by the CIA. Some people say that it was aliens.
But
There's a
everyone
lot.
agrees Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah,
Uh,
except for the new FBI director.
McAfee didn't uninstall himself, and they didn't reboot the jail afterwards. Bad practices, man. Bad practices.
It's just nuts. It's the way it's always so funny. We're all just waiting for the next conspiracy theory to turn out to be true. And then just when we think things are going to change, it's like, oh, wait, never mind.
So I've been having a
S'mores.
hell of a time trying to decide on what faction to paint my Marines up with, and I'm kind of leaning towards Blood Angels.
Blood Angels are cool. Blood Angels are fucking dope.
But
And I mean, I don't think Sanguinius is on the list of any time coming back soon. But he's always one that everybody's hopeful for. But the problem is that Sanguinius is dead. That's the problem. Like the rest of them, we kind of got like some gray area. No, we watched Sanguinius die at the end of the Horus Heresy novels. So it's like we know he is dead. So
Dude,
you might not get your Primarch back anytime soon.
what is with 40k players and conversion therapy? Every single time I go to play Magic the Gathering on my store, there's people playing 40k and telling me why I should play 40K.
Because
Because
they have
40K nerds are just like every other nerd out there. We are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. That's
I
why.
had the money.
it took them 20 years to convert me. Mind you, okay, Pablo, like honestly, it's actually not as crazy as you think. So you can go get like a combat patrol box or the kill team. The kill team is like 60, $70.
Mhm.
And look at the price of the new commander decks. Same price.
Man,
And the kill team box comes with enough stuff for 2 people to play a game. The kill team box comes with enough stuff for 2 people to play a game.
on Magic the Gathering, this Final Fantasy set, because I don't have the money I need to save, I didn't spend on anything. I think one of my friends is buying cards from the US. I might add a couple of $2 cards that I need. But I, out of the stuff that I hoarded through the years, the other day I created a deck using Nekusar, commander, well, a card that makes 1 damage to every opponent whenever they do a draw, and it just gives them draw. So I made a deck that is basically a draw party where everybody dies. So it's like it's absolutely horrible to play. It's the most toxic shit I have ever done. I didn't need to spend that much. I will need a $2 card. I have so many shit stored on my boxes that I don't need to spend on Magic the Gathering anymore. And that's the miscalculation that wizards have. They think that you need the new cards. No, you don't. You can be just a jerk. They have the
Pablo-
fancy new toys. I'm the asshole that breaks them.
But Pablo, just think there's a faction here for you. Like you can either come play like Death Guard or Thousand Sons. I think both those would really appeal to you from like the flavor wise.
I'm a controlled player. I counter everything that you do, and then I kill you. Is anything similar on 40K?
Yes, that would be very similar to the Thousand Sons because they're closely attached to the god that is literally considered like the trickster god. He's the well, it's not even really a trickster god. He's like the ultimate strategist. Everything, yeah, he's the ultimate schemer. Everything he seems like he's doing is chaotic and makes no sense whatsoever. Except the problem is he's playing a game where he's 20,000 steps ahead of you, and that includes everybody, even the other chaos gods. Which is why sometimes he literally has to roll himself back because nobody actually wants the game to end. So he's Ditch is like, okay, I can't go through with this because then I'll actually win the game, and I don't want to win the game. I don't want the game to end.
But also,
so, yeah.
But
he's
also,
that one.
like half his stuff is like
Night,
a
Brad.
trip from psychedelics.
Yes.
Brad
So-
Young, good night, sir. Sorry, Cass, I just need to throw in since our man here is going to bed. Thanks for being here, dude. Appreciate your time. Remember, reach out if you need anything. I am around, okay? Caster, carry on, sir.
Oh, I was just saying, like Zinch and all that is like Egyptian magic nonsense, which is kind of perfectly aligned with sort of like a lot of drug iconography, which all kind of lines up, I think, anyway. Or as I mentioned, Nurgle, Death Guard, Rot, Decay. There's sort of you could also arguably go that route with it as well, from a certain perspective.
God
Mushrooms.
damn it. I need a really, really good job.
Wow, and the other thing too is you can just read a lot of the lore and watch a lot of the lore videos, and you'll still get really into it. That's how I started with lore videos.
Yeah, Audible got me last week because they had a big old like site-wide sale. Like these $20 audiobooks were like $4.25 each, and I went and counted up how many I wanted to buy, and I was like, I think I kind of lost count at 20.
that was.
Which
also Magnus did nothing wrong.
And to be fair, because it was like I'm going down the list, I'm like, oh cool, there's a bunch of Warhammer books on sale. So I'm going through, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy this one, $4.25. And I kind of keep scrolling, I'm like, what else is there? And now you think about the fact that I've already spent that $4. I'm like, oh cool, here's Dante, let me get this. Let me get the Gene Father. Well, I might as well go ahead and get all the stuff for Gilliman's Return. So I have the stuff on the Dominant Crusade. And now I gotta go get the trilogy. I'm like, now it's 5 books. Okay. I'm like, but what about all these other factions? What about Space Wolves? Wait, there's a Space Wolves series. Let's pick this up. And then I'm like, oh, wait,
$250 later.
and then I'm like,
He's got
well,
half the Black Library that's available on Audible.
I'm like, we're gonna look around, like, well, I can't just buy Warhammer stuff. I'm like, what about all these other Monster Girl books? So let's go down this stuff.
Oh God.
Trailer Park Elves. Okay.
What?
Yes. There's a whole slew of books like this that are out there as well. I'm like,
Oh my God. That's horrible.
what the hell? This is. I'm gonna have to wait and find out how dirty I should feel after listening to this.
Man, you go through
You're probably gonna end
audiobooks
up
the same
feeling
way
bad.
that I go through anime.
Wow.
I have seen some really, really weird shit through the years. Some of it is absolutely.
Oh, what is
Dude.
Fulgrim's what?
There's
Oh, there you go. Fulgrim Returns. That's beautiful.
there's an animation that was sold as a Christmas animation because actually it's about Christmas. It's about the love and everything you need on Christmas. It's called Popotan. Yeah, don't do it. Don't get near that shit.
TZ,
Duh.
yes, there is a bit of adult content to it, but there's quite a bit of logistics to actually running a trailer park. So there's some interesting
Oh,
world building stuff in it.
No way.
What?
And then yes, there's a smut.
Dude,
So,
if
Ah,
I
yeah,
give
could
up.
get
Smut. It's smut.
a show or something about just the actual real life, a whole process of having a wheat store,
Mhm.
There's video games for that.
dude, is absolute craziness. And it's not you are full legal, you are doing everything on the legal, you have everything perfect. You still have corporate sabotage, you still have the government doing some psyops with your shit. It's great for a show, that's all I'm saying.
Mhm. Mhm.
Tulsa
Oh,
King
that's
kind of
fucking
tried
weird.
a bit of that, but yeah, didn't go full on.
Giggity.
Well, Sly always go full on.
All the way in. All the way. But guys, we spent so much of the show dicking around, and yet we spent way more time on Action Comics #1 than most probably thought we would. I almost feel like we should talk Fantastic Four 51 next week. I've read it. I read it again. We'll hold off on it for next week. That way we can give it its full undivided attention.
Yeah, because
But
there's
we
a
could get-
lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to break down in that issue too. There's
And
a
with
lot
how
of
deep
stuff
we
to break
went
down.
in for 13 pages of Action Comics #1, yeah, we'll cover that for next week. But no, it's fine. It's worth it. I like that I can get the response out of you guys that we got anyway, so we can just continue shooting the shite for another 20 minutes, and we'll call it a freaking night. But man, so I sadly have not read my Transformers. I have not read my Conan or my Aquaman yet, but I read my Geiger. Geiger was great. Oh, Geiger number 15 was great. Oh, was it so good? Very impactful, very emotional. I was really happy with it. Really happy with it. I reread once again Ice on #3. Really enjoyed that as well. Really enjoyed that actually. I will double emphasize on that. Lots of action. Oh, was there so much action? And there's a nice twist too, which is great to see. So welcome twist. And bro, I like how and Caster might understand where I'm getting here. You know, in the Ira book, that book kind of like has its own look with the blue and the lime green. This book with the new colors has its own look. So, and there's an emphasis on the orange. If Yaira emphasizes on the blue and the lime green, this book emphasizes on the orange. So it's like, oh, we have these like individual identity look for these books now. I like that a lot. I thought that was damn cool to have that really individual look. I'm definitely going to want to do. I don't know if it'll be on here in a few weeks or a separate show, but I'll definitely have to get some guys to talk about that one. That is for damn sure. But I was very satisfied, absolutely very satisfied with it, and I'm looking forward to the salvage. I'm really looking forward to the salvage, probably even more so. Probably even more so. And also, I read on Unholy Nightmare from Drew Weddick from the Think Critical crew. I had a blast with it. So much vampires, so much violence, and a femme fatale who's a badass femme fatale. Lots of toxicity there. Which, by the way, you know what? I'm going to throw in my guy's link here. I'm going to throw it in there because you know what? He deserves some acknowledgement on that because it's a killer first issue and the second issue went out for backing last week. Actually, he has met his goal. Oh boy, this is all the more reason to share this, guys. My man Drew here has 99 backers. I'm just saying, even if you're just a digital backer, just saying. You can write Nick sent me to be backer number 100. We can just do it, but that's the link right there. Say Nick sent me. If you do, once again, this is not a requirement, obligation, etc., etc. But my guy here definitely deserves it. And there's a catch-up package too for issues 1 and 2. So just putting it out there because he deserves it. And it's really great outside of whatever the shit Marvel's doing, and even still, for the most part, DC even, because, yeah, sure, Aquaman is great, and apparently Green Lantern is good, apparently Absolute Batman is good. I'm not reading it, but apparently it's good, it's selling, and people are actually talking about it. It's still really on a lot of the companies that are not Marvel and DC. Energon satisfies, Ghost Machine satisfies, Conan kills, literally and figuratively. Flash Gordon, Saturday Morning Event, you got killer books going on, you know, at Rippaverse. You got killer books going on at Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Fun My Comic. Psychic Sam looks fun too as well from Mark Miller and John Romita Jr. It is an awesome time to have a lot of books that are being great alternatives to the BS going on at the big two. Yes, DC, you're still not off the hook just because you got a book or maybe two, because I'm not judging off of two because I haven't read the other, but because of my one that I read, you ain't off the hook just yet. Your guy is great for those books, and for my friends who like those books, great, awesome. But as a company as a whole, you still ain't off the hook. You still gotta better yourselves by a lot. Just saying, very, very important to emphasize that. But hey, I'm dreaming, man. I am a dreamer, and I want to dream of a world where this shit continues to get better. If DC continues to improve, I will acknowledge it. I will say so. And I have a hard time believing Marvel will. That's the thing. Is that weird? I have a weird feeling like I can see DC try and actually do some stuff, but I don't see Marvel, which is really weird because, you know, I'm an optimist forever and always. I'm an eternal optimist. But there's this weird part of me that says Marvel's going to be the company. They aren't even the last. They just are not even on the list to change. What do you guys think on that?
The only thing I would say about that is we have seen a couple of signs that somebody inside of Marvel still has half a brain left and knows what sells and what doesn't. I.e., the Savage, the Savage Rogues new covers. They're doing a new Savage Run story with the Savage Rogue covers that are exactly as toxic as the original Savage Rogue covers. Same thing with the swimsuit edition. Same thing with the swimsuit edition that we've got coming in July. And even when interviewed and asked about that stuff, the guy was like, "Hey, look, it's not for everybody," and that's essentially what he left it at. You know, none of the bait, none of the apologizing. It was, "Hey, it's not for everybody." But you know what? A lot of people, you know, it's a throwback to the classics. It's what a lot of people like, and it sells. So that's what we're gonna do. So I don't know where that guy stacks in the hierarchy over there at Marvel, because like it's a
Who's the
swimsuit
writer
edition
on
and
it?
some.
Man,
I'd have to. Oh, well, the writer on the swimsuit edition. There's only like one good one. if I
No, the
remember,
Rogue
because when we
book.
looked at it-
Sorry, I'm
Oh, the
sorry.
Rogue books. I would have to look that up. I don't remember
Okay.
off the top of my head. But it's one of those situations where it's like, if nothing else, even if the story's crap, at least somebody knows to stop making the chicks look ugly. You know what I mean? Which is a step in the right direction. I'm not saying it's a large step in the right direction, but it's at least a step in the right direction. So I don't know. I mean, they're all so broke right now that like all you're probably gonna get for anytime soon is like a onesie twosie stories here that are good every once in a while.
well,
So
think about this.
Go ahead. Pablo.
They lost a huge source of revenue that was actually basically extortion. That was Diamond Comics. So without that, they cannot pad the numbers. They cannot force stores to buy shit and actually buy it by getting in debt. Right now,
a
the
really
only
good
thing
point.
that they can do is sell to the customer, and they are not able to do that while they are selling shit.
No, that's a really good point, Pablo. Diamond Comics going bankrupt might have been one of the best things to happen to the comic book industry.
Oh, I actually think it is one of the best
Yep.
things. Titan adjusted immediately. IDW for all their flaws, and there's 1,000 of them. They even carry
Right.
and DC of all the companies was ahead by 4 to 5 years. So that works out.
Oh,
at
yeah,
DC's
getting away
'cause
from
they had
Diamond.
nothing to worry about. I remember when they jumped ship in 2020 or 2021. So they of all the companies, they were actually ahead of the curve. Image bowed out. So I'm happy about that. Now, as far as how Aquaman is doing, like at my shop, you had the initial Jeremy Adams readers who were enthusiastic, but it wasn't Aquaman or DC readers, Jeremy Adams readers. But now that we're a full story arc in, now Aquaman DC readers are paying attention along with the Jeremy Adams readers. And those Jeremy Adams
Right.
readers who've been enjoying Green Lantern, apparently, because once again, I'm still haven't read it. It's been going 2 years now. Those Green Lantern, DC, Jeremy Adams fans are really invested in Green Lantern. I'm happy for them. That seems to be something that's really jiving with that crowd. And they're talking about it, they're engaging, which is great because to me, I want to know what's going on. Even if I'm not reading, I want to know where people are at. And Aquaman is really starting to gain that traction the way that Green Lantern is. And that's great to see. Here's the thing. Outside of Ultimate Spider-Man at Marvel, no one is talking about books. Now, Amazing Spider-Man, as I said a year and a half ago, it sells. Keyword sells. But still, even with the relaunch volume, which I still refuse to read, I don't care. No one talks about it. It is something that people buy so they can just put it in the bagging boards, put it in the long box, and say, oh, hey, I have a complete run. And for me, I let the completist mentality go with that, which is weird because Spider-Man is my favorite all-time fictional character. But it drives me crazy because some of these guys are my buds. I'm like, bro, let it go. Nick Lowe, that editor needs to go. I know you're not reading it.
Yeah.
I know you're not enthusiastic, but your run completion is also still contributing to this. It's still contributing to this, but I get it for the completionist, but man, at the same time, it's just like, it kills me on the inside.
I've been getting to a point with comics where there's some books where when I'm done reading it, I'm just gonna throw it away.
Good.
Which
Good.
which is a habit I at first that completionist like collector mentality of me was like, no, don't do it. The books, they might have value, but it's like, but then I'm looking around, I'm like, yeah, but how many books actually do so? And the reality is like, some, but not much. And ultimately, it's not making me happy just to hold on to shit.
Yeah.
Like, there are books I will hold on to and I enjoy. Like I like Gotcha Man. I thought the Galactor story was pretty good. But the question is ultimately, am I gonna be happy keeping it? Is it something that I feel like I need to maintain? You know, out of some like it's gonna appreciate in value because to be fair, some books do, but Also, like,
How about let me make you a suggestion? Instead of throwing them away, donate them to like a thrift store or something.
Nah, man, I got to that point with cards, with Magic the Gathering cards, where I'm like, yeah, I'm just keeping my Jace the Mind Sculptor because it's $600 and will keep growing in price. Is I will sell it when it's actually worth selling it. That's a few years, but everything else, if I don't need it for my decks, I can just sell it. Why the hell will I keep so much cardboard around that can get damaged, that can get destroyed, that is actually a lot of money just staying there? Well, I can just sell this shit. And I will tell you, just if you can, just try to sell or maybe store credit that those books because what some extra money.
Yeah.
We Protector, Proctor, Deuce,
Proctor.
Stupendium, Compendium for a $20 rump. Dude,
Nice.
you could just set some for free. Don't get me wrong, I welcome the 20, but I just like that you're here. Yeah, and yes, I did have a hard decision to make this week, but I'm just happy to be here. Says, great time tonight. I have a bias to go Rumble. Although Nick's channel is under attack on YouTube, I am thrilled to force at least one of yourselves to move its eyes over here. We will prevail. Thank you,
Amen to
sir.
that.
That is incredible. That's very insanely generous, by the way. You've already done several of those. I don't require that. I don't expect that, but I thank you for that. Seriously, man. I'm very appreciative of that. And it definitely does. It needs acknowledgement. It doesn't just deserve it, want it. It needs acknowledgement. That's incredible that you do that, Proctor. I appreciate you, man, sir. And I hope, wherever your status is, whether you're a dad or a guy who has a dad, I hope you have a great Father's Day weekend. And I hope you in general are doing well. And I just want to do my best to make sure that I'm not going to let this drag me down. People know what happened. It's a rare moment when I'm public about what's going on with my life. It's a rare moment. People need to know that one because I wanted to make noise to see if I could get YouTube to have pressure. It wasn't up, but fine, whatever. I'm not gonna say I'm quitting YouTube. I'm not gonna say F YouTube and then make 3 more videos on it. We just move forward. So you deviate, alternate, whatever you want to call it, and you make it happen. And this is what we do. This show will still have its place on YouTube unless something happens. I don't think it will, honestly. I've been wrong before, but I think we're going to be fine here with this show. But for Toxic Tuesday, the future is Rumble, and that's fine because that show couldn't be any more perfectly appropriate for instead of a modern audience, a Rumble audience. See what I did there? Yeah. The Rumble made for the Rumble audience. Doesn't that just have a good sound to it? Made for the Rumble audience. I like the way that rolls off the tongue. Made for the Rumble audience.
Nick, would you say it rumbles off your tongue? Would you say it rumbles off your tongue?
That's good. Let's see, Colin. You're just adding to the greatness. And it's my guy, that 70s Raw fan. 70s, what a week, dude. What a week with the BS. TZ says Nerd Rock is quitting Rumble. I think if he wants to quit Rumble, then he wants to quit Rumble. I love Gary. His wife Melissa is a fantastic lady too.
Absolutely.
And if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. Gary and Melissa, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's one of those I've always told everybody about. We've always been doing Rumble because I lost the channel on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I'm not just like what you had with your stuff. I'm not big enough to get a big stink stirred up, you know what I mean, and cause somebody an actual human to look at my stuff and try to fix it. You know what I mean? So like, I've been on Rumble since the boxing gloves, and I've always dual streamed and uploaded all my videos over there and everything else since the start of this, because this kind of garbage happens. The rules change, the goalposts get shifted all the damn time on YouTube. You never know what's safe. You never know what's not. You know what I mean? The rules are as ambiguous as they could possibly make them, so they can use it as an excuse to take anybody out whenever they want. And Rumble's not like that. Rumble's got issues with their interface and everything else, but also they're 20 years behind YouTube, and they have made leaps and bounds of differences in the last couple of years. Hell, that Rumble Studios is nuts how far it's come just in the last 3 months. But now with the direct RTMP we've got that makes gaming freaking flawless and gorgeous and beautiful over there now, with being able to multi-stream without having to use OBS and plug everything through your multi-stream tool anymore. You can do it straight through Rumble, like they've made a million. It's been a great, it was my fallout shelter. It's the only reason I'm still able to do this full time, is because I was able to go over there and I told enough people to follow us over there in case anything happened. And they did. And everybody showed up clutch, and it was great. And now Nick's facing, we've got 2 shows that we've been doing on Rumble for quite a while, our Doctor Who show and our Is It Good show. And Nick's been on Is It Good? He knows what we do. It's what he's going to do now. We just watch the damn thing, and we'll pause it and we'll comment it. And trust me, if you read the fair use law, that's exactly what falls under fair use, because we're commentating, we're being transformative. Because of YouTube's stupid bot system that they won't correct, or maybe they don't even know how to correct at this point, you get flagged for dumb crap all the time anyway. So, yeah.
And also,
it's not Rumble.
It's not like there's a whole lot of other alternatives to the YouTube and Twitch that are all that great. I mean, Kick is kind of up and coming in its own right, and people are kind of going that way. But but ultimately, we do need to do more to help prop these other sites up, because I mean, you look at the state of Twitch.
Oh, that place is a cesspool.
The double standard there, the payouts are shit from what I'm seeing increasingly. There's little reason to stick with that platform, and there's so many other alternatives to it. YouTube needs its alternatives to step up.
Like in most things in life, everything is about the size, right?
Jesus,
And if we are talking about
coming from the Asian guy, mind you, coming from the Asian guy,
we are talking about Gary's decision to go to stop going to Rumble. Well, in his size is a business decision. He can generate how much money per second, per minute, per hour of his time, and how much money he is getting from doing Rumble. And just considering the effort, considering everything else, he's a million subscribers channel, way past a million subscribers channel. So he is doing things like a business should. But if you are a small creator, you are still not a business. Even if you get super chats, you are still not a business. So you need to think about every possible revenue source that you can get, and you need to think about maximizing the audience the best you can, and having multiple different algorithms sharing your stuff to different people is a good thing when each algorithm only shares you to 3-4 people at the same time. So if you use 3 platforms, well, if you only got 4 recommendations on each, that's 12 people. That's way better. So it's about size, it's about scale. In
And the tool-
Gary's... Oh, go ahead.
I was saying the tools are there, especially for smaller streamers, that there's literally no reason not to.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's so many free multi-streaming tools, and like I said, you can always use Rumble Studios, especially if you're solo streaming, and that one's completely free to multi-stream to as many platforms as you want. It doesn't. Some people don't like it for these kind of panels and doing stuff like this, but if you're a solo streamer that just does stuff by yourself, dude, just plug your RTMP from OBS into it, and it will save you a buttload of time. It really will.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
TC,
Me too, TZ.
I remember when Gary had 2,000 subscribers.
That's crazy.
That's the first
You were
part.
way ahead of the curve. I came around 150K. I was around 150K. him and Ripa were within line of each other. I think at the time Nerd Rock was ahead. I remember seeing them surge past each other several times when Ripa was more YouTube focused. I would see Gary be way ahead, and I'd see Ripa be way ahead. And then Gary do it again. Then Ripa would do it again. It was really cool
But
to see
before
that,
man, I can tell you from a time before he was doing the Inquisition with Doomcock. When he was talking about other series that, well,
Game of Thrones.
No, Game of Thrones is there with Doomcock.
I remember the Venture Brothers watch party stuff.
Yep. And before that, how's that? I forget the name of the sci-fi series that went to shit.
The Amazon one that jumped.
Yeah,
different
exactly.
Networks.
The Expanse. No, it was not.
Mad Mardigan kept doing videos on it.
Yeah. Well, he was doing
The Expanse. That's it.
Expanse, yeah, the Expanse.
Yeah, the Expanse. Yeah, that's what he said. Pablo.
He was doing the Expanse. Before that, I got into Gary's channel because I was disappointed with what Emergency Awesome was doing with the Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
With episode 8.
Fucking
and
Charlie.
I got
Charlie
into
sold
different...
his fucking soul, dude. Charlie sold his fucking soul, man.
So I get into world class bullshitters. From there, I go to Ethan Van Sciver. I didn't knew Ethan Van Sciver had a YouTube channel. That was a surprise. I only knew him because of Green Lantern. Sorry if I know he has done a lot more. I only knew him because of Green Lantern. Sorry.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, his Green Lantern role was insane. So I bought
Green Lantern comics strictly based on the fact that his name was on the front of it. So
it's a damn good series. And the other artists that were with him too, Ivan Rice was there. Yeah. Pac Leeson did some of the Green Lantern core stuff with Peter Tomasi. That whole run around that time period was the DC book. Yeah. Between Jeff Johns with Teen Titans, Paul Dini with Zatanna, that Green Lantern run was so freaking phenomenal. But carry on, Pablo.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Here's the two fun things about that. One, I rarely comment on chat. If you know, I watch a lot of YouTube. I am on a lot of streams. I just never show in the chat. Rarely on Pipkin Pipas, because, well, the Capipis are awesome. But other than that, I haven't commented on Friday Night Tights in years. I still watch it. It's not that I don't watch it. I just don't care. The chat is too fast. There's too many people talking. A lot of people that I used to know either changed their nicknames or they got banned or something. So I don't care about going into the chat, right? Also, I used to have another account. So Geek Tropology is because of Gary and Doomcock. Because I was commenting on one Inquisition show, and both Gary and Doomcock were unable to say Kurogane Kiba. So I created Tropology because of that. And they still were unable to say Tropology.
Yeah, but that's the fun thing, to like come up with the bad name to like like going over to Razorfist and hearing Terrangel try to say rural.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good times. Good times.
Rural. Guys are cracking me up. Dudes. It's gonna be the part where we wrap it up per se. We'll be here next week. Promise I'll have 800 less things going on. I know for our first hour is a bit hectic for me to run, but you guys helped me with that. Thank you, by the way. And thank you, Brad Young. I appreciate the direct donation. Proctor Deuce's Stupendium Compendium for the Rumble rant. Thank you, guys. And for the chat on YouTube and Rumble for your time. We are onwards and upwards. We don't let shit drag us down. We keep moving, and no matter how many times we freaking get beat up, we're just gonna come back. That's it. Some might say maybe I'm too stupid to quit. If that's what they want to get out of it, fine. Let them have it. I'm just one of those guys who just keeps going. I'm not
Mama
here to
didn't
be
raise a
in or
finger.
out of style. I'm here simply to be damn here. So with that said, I will make sure greater focus will be emphasized next week. It'll be great, and we're gonna make Lobby's Comic Shop. We gotta ascend it, and we're going to ascend it. Toxic Tuesday is gonna be reascended. This shit's gonna be going to 11 on a whole other level. And of course, we'll talk Fantastic Four number 51 next week. I'm gonna let these gentlemen plug their plugs, and we're gonna say good night. I'm gonna start off with Pablo, sir.
Hey, more videos on Midnight Edge and a show on Midnight Edge Español called La Tangente, where this week we actually talk about comics, because life is awesome sometimes. So I had a lot of fun just talking about comics with my best friend. And that's the thing. Yeah, it's just a couple of friends from a long time ago that know how to press each other buttons. Chaos
As
ensues.
friends should.
So if you know Spanish, if you understand Spanish, I will recommend you take a look and tell us what you think. Uh, that will be it, man. This week I got green light from everything for my surgery. Um, I'm on a waiting list because apparently the health system is absolutely broken. I sent a photo to Andre showing him everything that in the hospital they say they didn't have appointments up to August. Yeah, shit is broken. So the blood work and everything that they did to me this week works for, I think, 3 weeks more. After that, I will need new blood work and everything. So I hate them because this might take 3 months. But I'm in the waiting list. I will get my surgery, and afterwards, I will eat whatever I want. So waiting a bit. Also, I have lost so much weight that I on my third pair of pants. Yeah, that's
Dude,
stupid.
that's wild.
I cannot eat almost anything, man. Boiled eggs, tuna in water, and some crackers actually may kill me because they have a lot of fat, and fat is what kills me. Everything has fat. Go to any supermarket, check the fat content on everything. Everything has fat. Life is miserable right now on the food realm. Thankfully, there's a lot of good video games, a lot of good manga, a lot of good anime, a lot of good comics. That's keeping me sane. But goddamn, I want a pizza.
I hear
Don't worry.
this.
We'll go and have a pizza for in your name. How about that?
On screen in front of you while we make noises about how good it tastes.
Actually, please do it. That sounds awesome.
Pineapple.
Oh,
It's a
always.
steel pizza ASMR. I'm good with it.
Look, if we put pineapple on the pizza, that makes it healthy because it's fruit. That's good for you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a fruit. Fruit's good for you.
God
That's
damn it,
right.
I'm agreeing with pineapple on pizza. I miss pizza so much.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Hey, TC says that his brother's daughter knows Spanish.
Yes.
Dude,
There you go.
Spanish right now is a really good tool. I will tell you that because a lot of the shit that people want to smuggle or want to keep quiet from English speaking audiences is being made in Spanish for some reason. I would have expected, I don't know, Chinese or something. Spanish
I
is
don't
good.
know. Maybe because of all the crime lords and all of the cartels.
Yeah, so it works. It's really handy. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Pablo's encouraging everyone to get involved with the cartels. I'm just putting that out there right now.
To learn Spanish, whatever you do with that, well, it's your money. I mean, that will be, brothers. Thanks for having me. Well, this week, obviously, we need to say missing Clobby,
Absolutely.
brothers.
Absolutely. Sorry, I want to build suspense, but yes. Rest in peace, Clobby. Thank you for everything that you did, sir. And just a guy who will never be duplicated. You can try and fail as you will, but Clobby was the only one. Full
Absolutely, man.
fucking stop. Thank you, Pablo, sir. As always, I'll be seeing you. Iron Caster. Plug out.
Giggity.
Well, guys, if you want to see some more of me, I mean, follow me on Twitter at the Ironcaster, where you generally see where all the places I'm hanging out at. But if you want to be, be a little more direct and give me some support, you can go over my channel where on Monday nights we do the Mech Pit chat, where we talk big robots and all sorts of pop culture stuff, and probably a little bit more Warhammer in the near future, because I may have bought a starter box this week, and now I got to paint them all. But I mean, can you blame me? Look at these guys look so freaking cool.
Right?
I converted one.
20 years in the hobby shops, like buying Magic, playing D&D. I kept walking past the Warhammer aisle stuff. I'm like, no, that's too expensive. I can't justify that.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. God damn.
So,
One
So
of
now-
us. One.
so now I must do likewise and try to do my part to convert others. So, which is why I am proposing we look at one of the Marvel Warhammer comics.
Ooh.
Who, by the way, Pablo did get a Magic card. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
what?
Marinus Calgar.
Yep.
In the comic.
He's
in a
one of the
comic
few
and he got-
characters that got a legendary for Magic, so you could make him your commander.
Oh, I get you, get you.
Oh, yeah.
Is him, what colors is him?
He's blue.
Blue, red, black, right? Something like that.
No, he's blue. He's an ultramarine.
Mhm.
They're blue and gold is what their armor looks
No,
like.
He is-
magic.
White, blue, black.
Oh, I have no
White,
idea.
blue, black.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I can do
You can-
something with that. I can be an asshole with that. I will check his
Here,
abilities.
Pablo. In fact, Nick, humor me for a moment here. Let's go ahead and show. Just go ahead and show him.
Oh yeah, show that cover. Oh, that's the card. Oh, that card is cool.
Okay, double strike whenever one or more tokens enter the Oh, okay. I already have a strategy for this because
I think
token doublers and blink, I can do a lot of crazy shit in this.
And also, the Space Marine 2 video game had an amazing cutscene where he shows up in it.
Nice.
his hair looks wrong on that card.
Well, he's bald here, it looks like. No, it's actually
I don't know
right.
why. He's not bald in the comics or the lore. I'm probably like, why is he bald?
No.
Oh, color me shocked there. Wizards of the Coast fucked it up again.
Maybe it's like super light because it looks like it looks like he's got a little bit of like a blonde, like that really short blonde, but it
He's
blends
got
into
like a
scalp.
gray buzz cut in the comics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, they just fucked up. But
Okay.
is it
yeah,
really
make
surprised
sure.
that Wizards fucked something up?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's
like-
normal.
This is such a commonplace thing for them for 2 fucking years. I had to make mention with my little sign off, like we're Saturdays over at T-shirt Historians,
Yeah.
where we will no doubt have to talk about Wizards of the Coast because they can't help but put their foot in their mouth each and every single week.
Yep.
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 Caster, you needed to let that out, and I'm glad that you did. It seemed like it was super necessary. I'm glad you were here. I look forward to talking Fantastic 451 next week. Thank you for being here currently. Have a great night, week, remainder of week, weekend. I will see you soon. And
Will do.
make sure after we talk Fantastic Four, we talk some fucking robots too. Oh, by the way, I heard a lady at my grocery store say to her kids as she was checking out, wait for it. She said, "All right, kids, Autobots, roll out."
Yes.
As she was pushing your 2 or 3 sons off in the car with like $500 of the groceries. When I heard that
Gucci
lady
bag.
say that, my mind was blown. I was like, dude, that is so cool. You don't say that line on
Wait,
accident.
you say like $500 on groceries. That's like
Like 2 bags of food.
dozen eggs.
Oh, well, where I was at was where you can actually get a good amount of food for $500. I'll put that in the private chat, or I'll tell you guys off the air. But I
Just
was
say you went to
like,
Whole Foods.
no, oh god, no. Here's the thing. I actually do like Whole Foods. I've had friends who've worked there. I've had friends who've been in
Nick,
management.
Nick.
But the problem is with that company, you do get quality, but what you pay for is not worth the quality. Like you get smaller portions for the quality is my biggest argument, but that's a separate
Nick,
conversation for another time.
there's
Maybe we'll talk
absolutely
about it next
nothing.
week. We'll see. Someone brings up in the chat, sends like a sweet super chat rumble rant. We'll go into it. But I have a take on Whole Foods that
Nick,
will be very polarizing both ways.
It's okay buying in Whole Foods this month. It's Pride Month. You can do it.
Oh God.
I lived in Chicago, so I will own whatever BS that's stuck with me for better and worse. Common Nerd, you're the last man out. Plug out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, come subscribe to my new channel because, like we talked about earlier, the old one got nuked. The link's down there in the YouTube chat. I've got a video coming out tomorrow morning at 8:45. This is actually an update on some Warhammer 40K stuff. Got a little bit of an update from Henry Cavill and a little bit of a teaser from Dan Abnett, which is one of the big prolific writers for Warhammer 40K. So that one will be coming out at 8:45 in the morning. So go check that out. Unless you're on Rumble. And then if you're on Rumble, that video comes out in about 30 minutes. So go check that out on Rumble. I'll be live tomorrow. I'll have another video come out tomorrow as well. I'll also be live tomorrow at some point playing more Dune Awakening. That game is an absolute blast. If you like the Dune universe, come check that game out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Sunday, 2 p.m. Bible study, and Sunday night at 7 p.m. with Sunker Maiden and Mr. Grant Gregory. Come join us because we have the Christmas special, the Doctor Who Christmas special. It's the Husbands of River Song. And if you know anything about Doctor Who, River Song is one of the most beloved characters out there.
Yep.
And this episode gets her and Capaldi together for the first time. And holy cow, it is a hilarious, really good roller coaster of a time. You're going to love it. It's going to be a blast. So don't miss that. Plus, you get to see Mr. Grant nerd out over all that stuff. And then Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. for the morning prep. And then next week, the midweek hump has its very final show. Shagsworth is moving to Hawaii for a new job, and so we will no longer be able to do the midweek hump. So next week at 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time will be our last one. Quarterback Garrett will probably show up. Adam will probably show up. Adam Krigler will probably show up. Who knows? We might be able to get freaking old. He raids us all the time. Oh my God, Camelot might show up as well because he raids us all the time over there too. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah. Come join us for the last one of that because, like, literally, Shagsworth brought us back only to now we're going to end the show again because he had to get laid off and get a new job. Oh, my God. So we love our Shags, and that'll be a good time, and it's a good stuff for him. It's returning home. So come check that out. And, yeah, it'll be a good time, boys and girls. We have a good time. I am your working poor content creator. So come check me out. Come support. Come be a member. I appreciate all of that because I got 6 kids, and they take a lot to feed. So thank you, boys. It's fun going over Action Comics. We nerded out tonight a lot and went off a lot of tangents and rabbit holes, and sometimes those are the best shows. So, yes, absolutely love it. Always good to see you guys. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah. No, thank you, Common, for being here. Thank you for taking the time, especially with everything you got going on. I appreciate that. And, yes, shout out to the Shagsworth. I've hung out with him twice. Orlando, Vegas. That was 3 years ago. Vegas 2 months ago. and I think he's a fantastic man. I've been on the midweek hump 2 or 3 times now.
Yep.
And I'm, you know what, I get why he did what he had to do. It makes sense, and he prioritizes his family above all, as all of us should. So I appreciate what he does. I will miss him around the sphere. I'm sure he'll have his moments where he pops on, but obviously, it sounds like from what he has led on, he's definitely got to prioritize the family, and YouTube won't be as prominent. So I get it. But man, if he shows up and say, "Hey Nick, I like that movie. Can we talk about it?" You can come on Toxic Tuesday, Shags. Seats at the table for you. Here's the chair. No questions. I like that guy. Seriously, I really do. I had him on. I had him on one.
I was
for when we
distracted.
talked Wayne's World. He was a great guest for that. So
Nick, I was distracted. Did you say Shags in the table?
my buddy Thomas Gilkey, the Gilkin return tail. Oh, dude, and the Peter Vega. I'm sorry, guys. We're wrapping. I'm sorry. We are wrapping it up tonight. I thankfully you guys dropped in, but we've had a low key show tonight, and it is what it is. But thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Vankman, for dropping in. I do appreciate it, and that's why it deserves that extra bit of acknowledgement. But we gotta go. I've got a insane weekend ahead of me, even outside of Father's Day. So I got so much I gotta do, and needs my attention. And yeah, okay, I know a lot of people give Spider-Man Homecoming flack, but that one scene where he's got that broken ship he's dealing with, and he's like kind of like having his arms being pulled.
Yeah,
that scene sums up my last week and where my weekend is going into, and how I need to get through the next week. I believe I can hold the ship together, and I'm going to. I don't know how, but I'm going to. That scene is me right now. I'm the one guy keep the ship afloat. So, anyways, thank you for being here. Goodbye, folks. Good night. Good fight. And here's a clip from Dewey Cox's Walk Hard.
fuck.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell it.
Smell that shit.